We're out here during the second week of turkey season. I've had good luck calling this season, but bad luck shooting. Today I have a tripod, so hopefully the shooting's gonna get better. I'm out here with my Ravin crossbow, and on the front of it I have the hanger guard that I make, the 5-in-1. Let's check that out. Here is the Ravin with the Hawk XP30 Pro scope on there. For backyard broadheads, the Heart Drop 5-in-1, rest hanger and guard, keeping everything protected. Alright, let's listen for some birds, and then let's do some calling.
So this turkey season for me got off to a crappy start because of me making simple little mistakes. The things I talk about in this video, you and I can use to review for next year's turkey season so we don't make these little mistakes. One thing that I was doing wrong is that I wasn't using a tripod to steady my crossbow. Another thing was I wasn't thinking aim small, miss small. I wasn't lightly squeezing the trigger until the crossbow went off. And then sometimes I was just making stupid decisions. So what happened earlier in the season is I was doing good with calling. I was getting toms to come in and I was getting shot opportunities, but I ended up missing multiple times. So on this hunt, my setup was I was in a blind overlooking a field. I had a hen decoy not too far in front of the blind off to my left, and I had an inflatable tom decoy right in front of the blind not far away. So I had been calling to the toms and also doing some light calling to the hens. And that light calling is what ended up bringing in a couple of hens. I first saw them as black spots off to my right, then I realized that they were turkeys, and then they started working their way towards the front of the blind. And I was looking with the rangefinder and I was trying real hard to see beards on these turkeys, but I just was not seeing beards on them. And then all of a sudden a strutting tom popped out and it started walking right in front of the blind to where I could get maybe a 30-yard shot at it. And as it was walking over, it was at first through the mesh of my blind, but then it was going to be into the open window. And I had to get my crossbow up and onto the tripod. So I had my crossbow in one hand and I'm trying to go real slow and get it up onto the tripod. At one point I think I had to use my other hand to get it up on there. Once it was on there I had to sneak up with my hand and turn on the Tacticam. Then as the jakes, there were 5 jakes, as they were moving to the left and that turkey was moving to the left, I had to then move the crossbow to the left while all of them could directly see me, and luckily they didn't see me move at all. I have a LaserWorks LE032 rangefinder mounted to the crossbow, and it was telling me that the tom was 34 yards away. Now that thing's always off by 2 yards, so the tom was actually 32 yards away. I was aiming at it, I was really getting ready to shoot, but I was trying to concentrate on that 30-yard reticle and the fact that I had to aim a little bit high. So 2 or 3 times when I was about to shoot, I stopped myself and tried to wait for a better shot. Then I finally shot, I could hear the arrow hit the turkey freaked out and ran off. It didn't go far and it was down on the ground.
Well, I finally got it done. After missing multiple turkeys this year, I had my little primos stick with me this time, and that made a big difference. I had the LE032 rangefinder mounted to my crossbow. That helped out a lot. Hawk XP30 Pro scope. I got myself to slow down. I still rushed a little tiny bit, but there was a few moments earlier where I could have shot, but I made myself wait for a good shot. Pretty sure this bird is down. Let's go check it out.
So at that point I was watching the other turkeys and I was getting my camera into my hand so I could walk out and check the turkey out. I got out of the blind and I looked, and those other turkeys were still working their way off. And right after that tom got shot, the jakes kind of went over past the tom, and then the one hen went over to check the tom out. And I know turkeys do that a lot and sometimes will actually attack a wounded or dead bird. But anyway, they were moving off to the right, so I got out of the blind. I waited till they got out of sight, and that's where we're going to pick up with me walking out to check out the tom.
So here's the decoys that I had out. Hen, inflatable tom. I don't know if they played a big role or not. They probably did, because the other turkeys weren't too far away. I was doing some hen calling, just like little clucks, and then some regular calling. Not sure which one brought them in, but I saw a couple of hens come in first. That thing was 33 yards out, so I tried to aim a little bit high with my 30 pin. I see something. This is good. Thank God. There it is. Wow. I gotta say, that head looks like the head of a decoy. Yeah, some of the other birds just went off that way. All right, it's dead and down. Went down quick. This is good. So I finally got it done during the second week of archery season. My blind's over here. I was doing some regular calling, and then I was doing some calling just to try to call a hen in. I don't know what actually worked. I'm guessing maybe the hen calling, because the two hens I saw to my right, I saw them first. And I was kind of surprised to see some other turkeys behind it. And then I think I saw a nice tom next, and there was at least 4 jakes in the group, and I think maybe even a few other birds. There's a group I've been seeing of about 7 or 8. This one was at 33 yards. I did have a tripod to rest my crossbow on that made a big difference. Got a good shot on this bird and it went down pretty quick. It was nice to get this one because I did see it strutting and it had a nicer beard on it. Nice tail. Hopefully nobody shoots me while I'm doing this. Spurs a little bit under an inch. Looks like a major exit wound. I was using Rage broadheads, which reminds me I better go look for my arrow. All right, now I gotta figure out how to clean it up and cook it.